Welcome back to the Activist Training Lab video course. Today, in our Recruitment and Leadership Development series, we're going to be talking about leadership ladders. In our last video, we talked about how there are many different perspectives on leadership, including what leadership means, who gets to be a leader, and how leadership should be structured. However, one thing that many organizers agree on is that leadership isn't something that just happens spontaneously from one day to the next. In fact, leadership is something that needs to be cultivated. Existing leaders need to develop people into new leaders. It's a process. One tool that can help with the leadership development process is a leadership ladder. A leadership ladder is basically a diagram that maps out someone's journey from first learning about your grassroots campaign or organization to being a full-fledged leader of the campaign or organization. Take this example. Let's say I'm part of a community organization that's trying to pass a green jobs bill through the state legislature. This bill would create hundreds of good-paying union jobs for people in my state while building wildlife corridors, doing wetlands restoration, installing green roofs, etc. And our campaign is trying to move a few key legislators to vote yes on the bill. So here's a leadership ladder for the campaign. First, we have active allies. These are people who signed a petition or signed up for the campaign email list or are following our Instagram or otherwise did something very small and very basic to show their support for our campaign. So this could maybe be like 10,000 people. The next step up the ladder is active plus allies. So I'm constantly emailing those 10,000 people, I'm calling them, I'm posting on Instagram, etc. I'm encouraging them to come to meetings, events, and actions and get more involved. And the small number of people who actually show up in person to events and tactics are my active plus allies. They've taken a higher effort action. And these are the people I'm going to have recruitment one-on-one meetings with. Next step up the ladder is a member. So if someone continues coming to meetings and high-level actions consistently, they're now a member of the campaign or organization. Now I'm going to start trying to turn them into a leader. It's probably time to have an escalation one-on-one meeting with them. And if that goes well and they do become a leader, they are now someone who has responsibility for a particular task or a role in the movement. And finally, my hope is that they become a full organizer. So in this leadership ladder, that means that along with any other tasks they're responsible for, they're also helping recruit and develop other leaders for the Green Jobs Bill campaign. Leadership ladders can also be much more specific than that. For example, let's say on this Green Jobs Bill campaign, we're doing a lot of door-to-door canvassing. I might craft a canvassing specific leadership ladder that looks like this. So the first step in the canvassing ladder is active ally. That's someone who, when we knock on their door, they sign our petition and they check the little box that says, I want to volunteer. The next step up the ladder is canvasser. So this is someone who volunteers at a canvassing event and knocks on doors for our campaign. The next step up from that is canvas team leader. So someone who leads a team of 4 canvassers, including training them, giving them materials and instructions, checking in with them, collecting data at the end of the event. And then finally, the last step in this leadership ladder is canvas director. This is someone who would organize the entire canvassing operation and oversee all of the canvas team leaders. You can also make leadership ladders for specific individual people. So you would use that to track what steps they've already taken and maybe plot out ideas for where they're going next. For example, let's say on the Green Jobs Bill campaign, I've got a volunteer named Michael who I'm using a leadership ladder for. It might look something like this. So Michael started off by attending a campaign meeting, and he was invited to the meeting by his friend Ray, who's a member of our central campaign team. After his attendance, I had a one-on-one meeting with him to talk about his thoughts on the campaign and discuss whether he might be interested in getting more involved. And after our one-on-one, he continued to come to more campaign meetings and he helped generate ideas for the campaign. Eventually, I had an escalation one-on-one him and asked him to take responsibility for recruiting influential voices to write opinion editorials about the Green Jobs Bill. Michael accepted that leadership role, and he ended up recruiting a state legislator who was championing the bill to write an op-ed, and he also recruited a prominent economics professor and an environmental justice leader, both to write op-eds about the bill as well. So I don't know where Michael's going to go next, but I have some ideas. He could continue his role as our opinion editorial director, or potentially he could become our opinion media director overall and oversee all op-ed writing and letter to the editor writing. He might also want to join our messaging and narratives committee, which makes sure that our messaging is aligning with our strategy and working well. So I have a couple ideas about where Michael could go and how he could step up into more leadership. And through regular one-on-ones, I'll share some of those ideas and I'll also hear what Michael's ideas are and how he wants to develop as a leader. Whether you use them to map out a general leadership pipeline or to map out the trajectory of a specific individual person, leadership ladders can help you figure out how to develop someone from an active ally to a leader. And leadership ladders can also help you make sure that you have processes in place, like regular one-on-ones to continue to escalate people, and they can also help you make sure that you have an idea of what roles might be necessary in your movement and what opportunities might be available to people. Thanks for watching. I hope this video about leadership ladders was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel or visit our website for more Activist Training Lab content.